Good evening, brothers, sisters, and gender norm resistors. It's time once again for Pirates of the Geek Vortex with me, your host, Olav, and the rest of the crew. Let's go ahead and jump on into things. And hello there, everybody.
Hello.
Is Caden going mute today?
I assume this is cosplay, actually.
That makes me wonder a lot about what he's cosplaying.
No.
So how has everybody's week been?
The past 2 days have been the longest month of my life. Just holy crap.
I've got to print 300 books tomorrow on my quote-unquote slow day.
That sounds horrible.
That is a lot for any day, let alone a Saturday. But I've got the covers printed already, so all I need to do is fill up a machine with a ton of paper, have it use the covers, and let's go.
Who's going to start barking? He wants out really bad, and I don't know why.
You might
I think he
sense-
has a stuffy outside that he wants to play with.
Here I figured he just knew that you were starting to start and do something, and it's like, hey, now's the perfect time to interrupt.
Mom, 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 mama, mama.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I'd just like to point out the irony of that there's none of us are really cosplaying right now, even though the episode is about costuming and cosplay. So I missed the opportunity to put on my Castlevania version of Alucard costume.
That's all right. I've done enough dressing up for various different stuff that's coming up, that I've got coming up, that as far as like thumbnails and stuff, that yeah, I'm kind of just done for the day. Caden is cosplaying every silent protagonist ever.
Clearly, Caden is the warrior of light. But with less emotes.
Okay, I don't care. I want to fix my light. I want to fix my computer. I want to trip over my computer. I don't care. Just don't care.
Share it in the channel. Oh, hold on. Okay. That makes some sense. So yeah, my next bit of scheduled cosplay is in August. Although I am doing a photo shoot next month, I'm not quite sure that counts.
Well, that depends on what you're doing for the photo shoot.
Not really costuming so much as fashion.
Dog food merch.
I play a Cocker Spaniel.
I'm tired.
Got the hair for it.
I was going to say you're cosplaying as somebody with fashion.
Oh, that will never happen. We've all seen my idea of fashion, and it is black, more black, and occasionally some red.
Yeah, that's about it. That's fair.
Some purples here and there.
We all know you're a Berzoli. I'm not familiar with a Berzoli.
Get bent. I do love my dogs. I really do.
Yeah. It's a robe, and that's not even a ring light. That's just an old 70s light that I just got some different color bulbs in.
See, Ras, you have to decide which way you're going to lean.
Oh, hold on. Here.
Well, you were fine that way. It's just, when we first started, you were leaning you were leaning one way, so I had to flip the camera so that people could actually see you, and you weren't trying to hide behind me.
I will try.
You're always keeping us on our toes.
I'll try and there we go. Got more of an idea of where I am in the frame now.
I'm sorry that I keep playing Jack in the Box because I'm waiting for an owner to come.
Oh, that's all right. That's understandable.
I have a drop off at 8:30, so I don't know if I'm going to be off or if I come back. So I don't know. That might be to all y'all's discretion because I don't know.
We'll play it by ear.
Okay. Put a big red circle with the line through it and say, "Fuck you, night kind."
No. See, I've got it so that I can hide each person's camera if they drop off for whatever reason. That way we're not, we don't have okay, for example, with Caden there, he's not there right now, so I can just hide him and just have his card showing. And now he's back, of course, right when I try and use him as an example. And he is doing his damnedest to hide.
Legends of the Hidden Caden.
I don't know. I know some of the legends of Caden, and I'm not sure we want to go there. So yeah, as far as cosplaying goes, or at least costuming, because there is a bit of a difference, which is always it's always gotten me how people are like, okay, well, costuming, cosplay are the same thing. It's like, no, costuming is, designing and dressing as a character, but just being yourself. You're wearing a costume. Cosplaying is literally costume play. You are not just dressing like the character, but acting like the character as well.
Costuming itself could be preparation for a production, and it's not necessarily the exaggerated, usually assumed exaggerated forms of cosplay.
Yeah. Like I would say, what I usually do for my thumbnails and stuff for various different games is very much costuming, because I don't try and act like the character at any point.
But if you're going to, you're not designing, you are actually copying the character that you want to cosplay. So isn't it you're just straight up making that costume for the character that you want to do in cosplay?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Okay.
I get what you're putting down there. Yeah. So you're kind of, costuming as a verb would be designing a costume or putting together a costume for a cosplay. That makes sense.
Isn't that the whole entire idea? I've never been to a con. I don't know. All I've done is help with costuming for a cosplay. So I basically don't. I make costumes. I've never been to a con.
But we have belted around some ideas.
See, conventions, conventions are kind of a mixed bag as far as I've seen. Like sometimes it's very much, yes, they are going to be, they try and do everything as far as pure cosplay. Like they will speak, there are people that'll speak like the character, pose just like the character and stuff like that.
Camera spots, photo shoots, etc. in costume, in character.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've met some people that they go full in on a character and they do their damnedest not to break character, which gets a little weird at times.
For the very first Anime Central back in 1998, there was a guy doing crossplay as Shampoo from Ranma 1/2. And each day at the convention, he had a different outfit of that character's on. There was a lot of dedication. There was a lot of makeup.
Now, come on, Caden. I think I would be perfectly fine as the lone survivor. Nothing says I have to play nothing says that I would have to be like the asshole version of the lone survivor.
I've usually gone on in as Alucard, Doctor Number 3. I should do something WoW related at some point.
Personally, I think that, again, I've never been to a con, so I personally would think that there would be a lot of WoW stuff on there.
There's some. I've just never done it.
What about like Star Trek, Star Wars?
So much.
Yeah, Star Trek and Star Wars, very much so.
Okay.
If you want to see go to a photo shoot with 15 different Darth Mauls, Gen Con has you covered.
Do people do Fallout?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Pip-Boy and all.
I would imagine even more so since the Fallout series came out.
I had in previous years seen a ghoul, not the ghoul from the series. Seen plenty of vault dwellers.
Yeah, that's a relatively easy one to put together, really.
And they had a booth there for the Fallout board game, so you knew there were going to be people on their staff dressed appropriately.
Yeah. Yes.
I figured they'd be dressed as Enclave, but I was wrong. They were all vault dwellers.
Why would they be? Why would they be Enclave?
To give the players who go to their demo someone to play against. I mean, why does someone dress as Rasclin, who is technically a bad guy, at the TSR booth back in the 90s?
There are some people that they will always dress as villains.
True. I need to go as Magneto one year, but I'm not looking forward to having to dye or do something else to make my hair white.
It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brotherhood of Steel cosplay is a difficult one to put together. Doing full power armor is tricky.
Well, reverting to a previous conversation, but it's still in line. I mean, if you're talking about ease of costuming, do people go as one of the war boys?
Oh, I'm sure, especially when Fury Road came out, I'm sure there were plenty of war boys at various conventions.
Okay, thank you, Caden. Well, that's what I was thinking, because it's just cargo pants, which I call purse pants, cargo pants, a little bit of the war boy bling, white paint, and your goggles, so you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
But I can understand. Yeah, okay. Probably a lot of Furiosa too. Like her little arm, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Trek is a very popular one because you can buy you can buy the original series shirts just about anywhere. And that and a pair of black pants and black boots, and you're done.
And ever since the MCU became a thing, people love the Tom Hiddleston version of Loki. They won't do the helmet a lot of the time, but they'll do that version of Loki with that particular set of leather armor and arrangement of green on it.
Well, the MCU didn't do the helmet very much either.
Not very much, no. And that probably worked out for the best for it.
Okay, Caden, what do you call a real Star Trek cosplayer? Well,
Okay, are they willing to get Q to resurrect them? Semi-resurrect them. I remember that episode.
Well, was it shrapnel or was it just a knife wound from a nostril?
It was a knife wound from behind. He literally got stabbed through the heart, through the back, and started laughing.
But yeah, especially at conventions, you can find all people cosplaying all kinds of stuff. A lot of them really will go all out and just really get into it.
So maybe I have been to a cosplay, but this might be reaching, is Wasteland Weekend, where it's totally immersive. Everybody has to wear a costume, whether it's Fallout, but it's Wasteland. You have to be part of the apocalypse. But again, I don't know if that's considered cosplay.
I would say it is, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm doing cosplay when I go to a Ren Fair, I've seen no reason that would not count as cosplay. In fact, if anything, that's a whole lot more dedication. So I'd say that's above and beyond cosplay.
Yeah, because I've seen a few. I follow a few people that have gone as specific Wasteland characters from different media sources.
I just never really thought of it as a convention, but I guess, yeah, in reality it is. I just considered it an event that was my kink. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that absolutely counts. Means you put more dedication into your cosplay than I ever have.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I do sew my own corsets. I do sew my own skirts. I do sew. In fact, one of my favorite costumes was the Crowfishers. And I don't know if anybody understands what the Crowfishers were, but I mean, I went all out with the stilts and the costume and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I do. But I don't want to like toot my own horn. But when it does come to a convention, okay, I do go all in like that. But I never considered Wasteland a convention.
Yeah, it might be more. Something like Wasteland may be a bit more of a Ren Fair type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which then you're not necessarily playing a character, you're not necessarily dressing as a character, but you could dress as a character if it fits the specific theme. Well,
in Ren Fair, you're supposed to dress, period. You're supposed to dress in that period that you're representing.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a slight whip for Star Trek characters who are on an away mission.
But like if you're doing something as far as a Ren Fair, you could dress like Friar Tuck, or any type of character that is known in media from that specific that fits within that specific time period.
I've gone as a Tudor, a Scotsman of the time. That's about all I've done for Ren Fair.
I just had the costuming. I never had, well, except because I was registered as a heavy armor. So I got to wear my, all my armor and my helm and all that fun stuff. And I was with my 9-foot pole arm. But is that really period, or does that cover a wide range? Because I had, the Japanese body, but, a different English helm. So does that would cover a lot of time frames. It's not necessarily period.
True, but a lot of Ren Fairs will give a fair amount of leeway as far as what they consider period.
And that's not even taking into account the people who will go in there and no one bats an eye if you're dressed as something other than human. A Fae is usually considered, maybe not a specific Fae. No one's going in as a red hat or anything, but and then I've seen plenty of trolls and orcs.
But that's where I think I see a difference, because at Wasteland, we've had a lot of people coming in as the lady, Angelina Jolie with her horns and shit. What is that?
Oh,
what's her name?
Maleficent.
Yes, people were dressing as her. People were showing up with their little sparkly butterfly wings. And we're like, that is not appropriate. So there are people that will drag you to their tent, to their place, and they will dress you in their Wasteland attire. So when it comes to Ren Fair and people dressing different, and the Ren Fair actually allows that, does that really, again, fall into... Personally, I think that it should be, once you're at Ren Fair, it should be the period of dress that you choose. But again, that's just my opinion.
Well, I think there's a finer point there with most Ren Fairs. They want people to come and have fun and spend money. Yeah. And if you put too much of if you enforce the period dress type rules too much, then it's kind of, okay, you're gonna lose people that just don't have the money or time to put together a costume.
And there are plenty of people at, say, Bristol Ren Fair, where I didn't go this last year, I'll try this year, who just show up jeans and t-shirts because, it's their first time. I've always dressed up, but I've got the wardrobe to do it. And I gotta admit that not everyone does. And I only have the wardrobe because, as Olaf can attest to, I tended to collect that stuff over the years for goth nights.
Yeah. To bring up the massive LARP failure that was/is Evermore. I don't think I've... I don't think I've even heard of that.
It's my crickets. Is now a good time for crickets?
But
okay, children. Let me educate you on the failure that was Evermore Park. The dream was to have the world's biggest medieval fantasy LARP session as a theme park.
Oh boy.
They chose the amazing locale of fucking Utah to buy acreage and create a massive theme park. The only ride in the theme park was a train that would take you through realms. And the goal was simple. You come dressed in character, you act in character, you interact with character actors who would act as elves and goblins and trolls and whatever they decided to throw in. The problem being, the motherfuckers never finished the park. 98% of the attractions were always closed. 40% of the actors never showed up. 50% of them had no idea what the hell they were supposed to do. And even when you did find the one actor that did know what they were supposed to do, they would give you a clue that would take you to another actor who then had no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
Oh, brother.
Did they
So
at
in
least get
essence,
cheese
they wanted to
sandwiches?
make the world's biggest fantasy LARP, and they succeeded. But in the way of, yeah, this is every LARP ever.
You know how many acres they bought?
Hold on, I just looked it up on Wikipedia. Where is it? Well, it didn't give me the acres this time. But apparently it was recently closed in April 2024 because somebody bought it and they are going to reopen it under the name The Realm Town. Mostly because they're getting tired of being sued the shit out of by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I could see that.
Why would she sue them?
Because they used the term Evermore. Never mind that the park was made in the park opened in 2018, and her album Evermore didn't come out until 2020.
That sounds like a Mattoon Burger King scenario.
Mm.
I can't believe that's my go-to. Olaf knows why it's my go-to.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, okay.
It's not that big. It's only 12 and a quarter acres.
See, Caden, you kind of know my opinion on stuff like that. It's like, look, you know, if you're gonna do a live action role play, if you're gonna do a role play of any kind, you have to let people play the character that they are that they create. You have to let them play a specific
It's got to be
way.
freeform.
Yeah, you can't say, okay, well, you have to go and do this. It's like, but my character doesn't give two shits about that. Well, no, you have to go and do this. It's like, but why? Make it so that why would my character go and do this? If my character is apathetic about politics, he's not going to go and visit the king's representative to protect the lands and, you know, no, they're not going to give a shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's why I hate most forms of RP system, honestly. Because you're always going to get at least one mod or one dungeon master who's like, no, if you don't do it my way, it's not right.
Yeah.
You see, I was silent. You guys were talking up a storm. Now I'm talking and y'all went silent.
You brought up a subject we know nothing about.
Well,
We
like
just
if I
love the
did
sound of
do-
your voice.
Have I been to something like what you're describing? Yes, but it was not a whole park. It was a single building that Walt Disney World was running back in its Pleasure Island days, and it was improv.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can look up Evermore on YouTube, and there's tons of videos of people who went and then just like took all of the horribleness. It was like, look, there's this fountain that they just made that's never on and is rusting and is just open for small children to fall into.
The Star Wars attraction over at Disney World up until recently. The Star Wars experience. That's what everything you just told me reminds me of.
Kind of, yeah.
So what, Caden? They just couldn't afford to do it, or nobody took it for serious, or
I don't know, people took it for serious, but because it was so shit and then everything was basically hodgepodge and no one knew what the hell was going on, people just stopped going.
Okay, a better example would be the Willy Wonka experience, the Wonka experience over in Britain.
Yeah.
What was it, last year? That was like all AI, it was all like AI backgrounds and posters and stuff, and like nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. They were bringing up stuff that nobody had a clue about, like this evil entity that lives in the factory and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, it was just rushed together. There was no cohesiveness. There was no real plan. So it just kind of it just flopped.
Or DashCon.
Well, DashCon was just a shit show, period.
We will never forget the ball pit.
Yeah. But it was like,
what's DashCon? Sorry.
Oh,
So
DashCon?
DashCon was supposed to be a convention for Tumblr users, but people got there and found out that nobody knew what the fuck they were doing, and there was corruption amongst the people organizing it, and then they went into a concession hall, and they're like, oh, hey, so we got you entertainment, and the entertainment was literally a kiddie pool full of ball pit balls.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, as an apology for pre-sales and stuff like this, we're gonna give everybody who bought a ticket ahead of the convention gets an hour in the ball pit. And it was like, yeah, it was literally just a kiddie pool filled with plastic balls. It's like that's not a ball pit.
And of course, those of us who know conventions or have gone to conventions all know you don't want to go in that ball pit.
Yeah.
Hello, Concrud. Times 1,000, because you know that kids have been in there.
Fuck kids, these are Tumblr users.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Have you been on Tumblr?
They are somehow worse than like the worst of the anime convention goers.
Like there's a level of things that I would tolerate in like anime convention goers, pretty far down on the list. But then below them is Tumblr. But then below them is Reddit. If this was a Reddit convention, that ball pit is most certainly filled with heroin needles.
So where do Quora and 4chan fit in?
They don't. If I hear the words 4chan and convention, I'm calling the cops.
That's probably for the best.
Well, me who knows nothing about what 4chan is, there was people talking about it at Wasteland, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever it is, I don't know. So what is 4chan, do I ask?
Okay, who wants to field this one?
Do you want the safe answer, the moderately detailed answer, or the meme answer?
We're over a half hour in. Let's go detailed.
Why not?
Go for it.
No, I'm asking Nikon which one they prefer.
Down and dirty, whatever. Let's.
It will get there.
Okay.
Okay, so 4chan started out as a green text board, meaning that everything you posted was just text. And it was originally just supposed to be a chat room, people could hang out, blah, 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 blah. And then it broke off into different sub-boards, each one designated by a letter. And then, unfortunately, the most infamous one was /B, which was, I don't even remember what that was supposed to originally stand for. But 4chan has gotten a reputation for being filled with junkies, pedophiles, sex addicts, the worst of the fetish world, the hunters of said previous 4, and basically if you want to find anything illegal, you go to 4chan.
Well, then why is it still a thing? Why is it still there?
So, have you ever heard of Anonymous?
Is that the... Yes. Yes.
It started on 4chan.
Okay.
So did QAnon.
QAnon started on 4chan. Incels, 4chan. Reddit, 4chan. Tumblr, 4chan.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm glad that I didn't ask what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So, yay me.
Better off.
Okay. Thank you for filling me in, Caden. We'll
Just
never
remember
mention
each website has its own code phrases so that we know who they come from.
Okay, that's just... Wow.
I believe Reddit's was, I don't know what it is now, but it was the Narwhal Bacons at Midnight. Tumblr's was, I like your shoelaces, thanks, I stole them from the president.
Okay. Nothing about pineapples?
No, I think that was 4chan's thing.
Well, that's what I was asking. Did they have a code word with pineapples in it?
I have no idea.
I have people who would proudly talk about all the stupid shit they were finding and propagating on 4chan, and I don't really talk to those people a whole lot nowadays. People red-pilled themselves in 4chan. That's what makes it really terrifying. I can't believe that's a phrase.
Yeah. Now, of the cosplays that I've done, I think the one that most of my friends know me for is of course doing the 4th Doctor.
Scarf and all.
Yes. The one that apparently nobody got, there was one person that actually got it when I went to C2E2 one year, was I went as Doc Savage.
Okay.
Nobody knew who the hell Doc Savage was. Like, I went up, I met the Nostalgia Critic and his team and stuff, and everybody's like, oh, that's a cool costume. Are you like the Brendan Fraser's character from The Mummy? I'm like, no. And his dad just kind of his dad was there, and he just kind of looked at me. He's like, and I told him, I'm like, no, it's Doc Savage. They're like, who? And his dad came over to me. He's like, okay, that earns respect from me. It's like, none of the rest of them know who the hell Doc Savage is, but yeah, that's
You out nostalgia critic.
Yes.
I mean, that's not really that hard.
Okay, yes, true.
It's like one of the original pulp superhero type characters. The kind of depressingly hasn't, you would think that somebody would get the rights to that and be like, and do a Doc Savage type thing. But the closest we ever got anytime recently was Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Why do I know who Buckaroo Banzai is?
I know who Buckaroo Banzai is without actually knowing Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah.
I just remember the film. I haven't seen it.
That's the thing. I don't remember the movie because, like, I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
That's
kind of like I know Ford Fairlane, but I don't know Ford Fairlane.
How can you forget Peter Weller, Clancy Brown, Jeff Goldblum, John Lithgow?
All memorable. I, until recently, forgot most of Flash Gordon. I saw that as a kid, too. Repeatedly.
And I'm just gonna say every time I try to think of movies like Buckaroo Banzai or Ford Fairlane, I just see Robin Williams in The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and everything goes away.
They're doing a sequel to Flash Gordon.
What
Yeah,
you're
didn't we
telling
talk about that last week?
I think so.
and the
I was
only
like,
response, the only
yeah,
response,
like I was just screaming. I was like, how the fuck are we doing a sequel to Flash Gordon?
what you're telling us is that Gordon's alive.
Except, like, it sounds more like a remake.
And it should be.
I won't talk.
I don't know. And on the one hand, like, it'd be nice to see what they could do with Flash, new technology, but on the other hand, the cheesiness was part of what made Flash good.
And that's
Maybe
why
they-
I say that should be a remake, because it's like, if they try and do like a sequel to Flash Gordon and make it serious and with modern technology and all that stuff, I don't think it would be. I don't think it would come off. I don't think it would be a proper sequel. Like, you would have to
It's
go
kinda
that
like
whole
the-
lady cheese.
It's kind of like if they tried to remake Barbarella.
No, it'd be more like if they tried to do a sequel to Barbarella. Because that's the thing. If you're doing a sequel, you kind of have to keep it in the same, in the same style as.
I didn't want to say
previous
sequel because I really don't want to imagine her any older.
Well, not like with the same characters or anything, the same actors.
Or the same wig.
Yeah.
What's the last thing we even saw Jane Fonda in? It was that sitcom she was doing on Netflix with Lily Tomlin, right? A few years ago? Like,
I'm
not imagining that, right? Are they done? Good luck. The Godspeed.
I mean, like, I don't want to imagine anything with Jane Fonda in 2025.
Oh, come on.
Especially not the Pleasure Machine.
Okay, look, as someone who would happily have slept with Elizabeth Sladen towards the end of her life, I'm down.
I mean, come on. She.
I hope I look that good when I'm that old.
What? She was born in 1937.
I'd say she's doing damn good.
She hasn't hit 90 yet. Besides, you and I know both what they would do is they'd wind up like doing like some like AI bullshit. Be like, oh no, the Pleasure Machine, well, it's gonna be her younger self.
The AI would be like Peter Cushing in Rogue One levels.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I think, like I said, the cheese was what made those movies great, because, like, it wasn't just that, hey, it's sci-fi fantasy and all that, but the Hays Code and such had a lot to do with all that.
Yeah.
You had to get creative when you weren't allowed to show a lot of the shit that they wanted to do. Oh, that would have been a fun crossover, though. Barbarella versus Ming.
Well, there's no verses because they would just start liking each other because they like the slap and tickle, and then they would fall in love.
Exactly, I was about to say, it's like, Ming's entire thing was like, I want to fuck every woman, and Barbarella was like, a pleasure machine literally broke down because it could not pleasure me enough. Just throw those two in a room
When
and
I
leave.
walk away.
I just want to know, is this movie going to open up with Ming headbutting Barbarella's ship the way he did Flash's? And two, does that count as giving her head?
I mean, it would be headbutting, but not with that head.
Oh, well then.
I'm pretty sure what we're what we've come to is that it would have to be a porn parody.
It wouldn't be a parody, it'd just be a flat out porno.
Where's my clap emoji or my clap sound? Well,
I don't think you need
didn't they-
clap. Clap is the wrong emoji for this. Where's the soundboard?
They did porn out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Look, as long as they don't make a Pirates of the Geek Vortex porn parody, we're fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where's my soundboard? Where's my... Guess I dropped my mouse too many times. Anyway. Or mouse. Not here in my mic. My cover, excuse me. Well, in about 20 minutes, I have a client dropping off a dog. So again, if you need to cut my picture out or whatever, so.
Okay, that's no problem. Yeah, take your time.
Okay. So, Caden, is there a furry convention or do they go to a different...
We don't speak of them.
Okay. Okay.
They are not for the faint.
Would you like the one that was made by fucking neo-Nazis or the one that was attacked by chlorine gas? Would you like the one that has all the rape allegations? The one that has all the rape proof? Would you like the one that has, oh my god, so many bans?
I have to go get dogs.
Cross not lightly into the world of furries.
Yeah. I think the
I mean,
one...
honestly, if you guys ever wanted to test your fucking metal, I could just sit here and regale you with all the drama from the furry fandom.
No, thank you. No, that's quite all right.
And I would feel compelled, I tell you, to relate the stories of Anime Central.
I think I'm also going to say no, thank you.
I had
It'll be like a head-to-head. Who can come up with the worst
Yeah.
story?
You ever had a Japanese celebrity hump someone's leg and scream "Huggy Zombie"? I have.
Oh, no. No. Okay, one goes in, one. Come on. Memory. Okay. If there's a fight, I'm gonna lose my shit. Nuh-uh. Bang. Emery. This is why I can't have nice things. Sorry. One of these Fridays, I'm not going to have any dogs.
It'll be the Friday at the end of the universe.
Yes. 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 Consider I'm booked out until April, but that is way not what we're talking about. So are we going to cover how to make the costumes? What we make costumes with?
Yeah. We can do that. That's actually a good segue.
The souls of small children?
No, they don't last long enough.
And how small?
You're not supposed to use the ones that are terminally ill.
Why not?
Because
No,
they
don't.
don't last.
Don't go there, night kind.
What do you mean don't go there night kind? We already went there.
No.
Because that would be a sick costume.
We're not talking. We're not talking like we're not talking stuff like that. That's just no.
Okay, yeah, no. That's why I said don't say it.
I mean, one of the best places I've found as far as finding costume pieces is like Goodwill or secondhand shops or something like that. Like, oh, okay. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here?
I had to reset my camera.
But is that making a costume or putting a costume together?
Well, it depends, because it's usually, as far as my experience has been, it's a little bit of both. Because you can find something that will work for the most part, and then you alter it. So, for example, one of them that I did was a middleman costume from an old ABC TV show that almost nobody's seen. That requires an Eisenhower jacket from World War II. Problem is you can't find green Eisenhower jackets anywhere. Because basically what it is it's... Huh? What'd you say?
What the fuck is an Eisenhower jacket?
An Eisenhower jacket is basically kind of a standard military uniform jacket, except for it is cut off at the waist and has basically a belt added to the bottom. So it cinches around the waist, giving you access to your pants pockets. It doesn't have any side pockets, and yeah, that's basically it. That's what Eisenhower did to his jackets in World War II to make them fit better and be more practical on the battlefield.
Excuse me. It's not the drop off.
Because having those having the tails that come down, down past your hips out in a battlefield is very impractical.
Like, get caught on damn near anything. Shrapnel, someone grabbing you.
Getting caught on anything. You have two side pockets, but you have to reach down and up and under in order to get to anything that you put in your pants pockets. It's just a hassle.
It makes you wonder who designed it.
The Army.
Right, but you know what I mean. Who in the Army? Like, who decided that, and then who greenlit it?
Probably the higher ups that even back then were, they really didn't see much combat. They were going for more style over substance.
The first pattern field jacket, or jacket field olive drab, or Parsons jacket, was named for Major General James K. Parsons, who helped with its development. So there you go. The Army did it.
When was it?
Designed and modeled after a civilian windbreaker made by John Risman and Sons of Chicago. So y'all are to blame.
Olaf, if you want to cut my feed right now, because there's a car waiting. I don't know who it is. So pick up. So thank you.
Okay, no problem. We'll see you if you come back.
Okay. Is my mic still on?
It is, but I can take care of that too.
Okay. Well, how am I going to tell you that I'm back?
Just type it in the chat.
Type it in the chat or just sit down at your computer and wave. I can still see you on the Discord.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's. I mean, I would imagine that they probably kind of took the idea of a normal gentleman's jacket and said, "Hey, we're gonna make it. We're gonna put. We're gonna take that style of a normal gentleman's outer jacket, and we're gonna make it more militaristic with epaulets and stuff like this, and yeah, that's how we'll do it."
Oh, is that Bodhi on the camera there? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Hi, Bodhi.
All right.
Well, like I said, it was patterned after a windbreaker.
Okay, Nightkind, I'm blind. I saw the top of Fang's head and thought it was Bodhi.
Um,
I'm very blind. Very blind.
Odin's a golden retriever. Fang's a chihuahua.
You can't convince me those aren't the same type of dog.
Oh, yes, we can.
No, you can't. I'm very oblivious.
Golden retrievers are patients given body. Chihuahuas are fucking hellhounds. Those are short man syndrome.
But by that standard, Olive is a chihuahua.
Is she short man syndrome given legs?
She is a dachshund with greyhound legs, so take that as you will.
Oh, so she's just she's a fear of heights given legs.
Okay, true. Hey, come say hi for the camera. Yes, you.
So what part did I miss about costuming?
Not much.
When you were trying to figure out where that jacket came from.
Okay.
And then it turned out, yes, Chicago was to blame for everything.
Okay.
My lord,
So I didn't miss much.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff though with costuming that you just can't find in the right thing. So it's all about finding something close to it or making something yourself. I know a lot of people that will find something kind of close and then basically just go through and alter it.
Yeah, that's what Wasteland does, is alter the shit out of things. So I completely understand. You know, yeah, you can't find it, so make it.
Yep. One of the things that I've found that is great for helping out making costume is EVA foam.
Yeah, yeah. I got 3 pieces of that in my spare room, so completely understand.
Just the fact that you can heat it and mold it and then let it cool and it'll stay in that same shape is, yeah. That was one of the big step forwards for cosplay, was being able to make armor pieces or clothing pieces or something like that out of that type of foam.
And you still get Kydex?
Kydex?
Kydex. It's a moldable plastic that you heat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
More durable than EVA.
Okay.
I think I saw someone make, unless I'm picturing the wrong thing, someone made a very good Skeletor outfit I saw at Gen Con one year. I filmed him it using that. And he basically just looked at my camera and said, "Come to Gen Con, you royal boobs."
See, one of the things that I wish people would realize with the EVA foam is you really need to use Plastidip or something like that.
Is that for texture or?
No, it's to seal the foam. Basically, it creates a thin layer on top of the foam so that you can paint it. It adds stability. It's it's really one of those things where it's like you really need to use that with EVA foam. Otherwise, painting it is next to impossible. Because it's so porous, it'll just absorb the paint. So you need a thin layer of basically of still bendable plastic that you can paint on top of.
It'd be much easier to like spray paint it and hand paint it.
Oh yeah, I've done a few pieces with EVA foam. And yeah, like I said, if you get the Plastidip spray, you spray 1 or 2 coats on that, and you can spray paint it, you can hand paint it, you can any type of paint you want to use, you can do it. and basically it'll stay on top of the plastidip. But the benefit of the plastidip is that it will still bend just the same as the foam.
I had a friend that did amazing things with EVA. And I mean, he went all out and was just jaw-dropping amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some people that have made that's what they do, is they make props and costume pieces out of EVA foam, and it's like the one guy will make just about any kind of weapon you can think of from EVA foam, like Hellboy's big ass fucking gun. He's made tons of those out of that foam. It's just like the amount of stuff that people can do with it. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff, and yeah, absolutely amazing. And then, which encourages me to attempt to make something like that. What would I do with that? Because I don't go to cons, so I don't know.
It's a creative pursuit.
I don't leave
Down
my
to the
house.
local 7-Eleven, make them ask questions, refuse to answer.
I will put in a minimum effort cosplay here.
How did you somehow become less clothed after putting on a shirt?
Because with the robe, it wasn't.
Observe, I'm currently wearing sweatpants. I can put on heavier pants, and this will be far worse. Un momento, por favor.
Oh no! You are responsible for this, Caden.
No, I had the fucking human decency to turn off my camera as I was putting on a shirt and pants. Thank you.
Well, I mean, he's going off camera to put them on. It's just what we're subjected to.
I turned the camera off, so you didn't have to see any of that.
Well, we can't see any of that with him, but it's like, when he comes back, we'll all be subjected to whatever he picks up.
I'm pretty sure we all just saw like the bare chest and abdomen.
You did. Oh, you did.
Unless, of course, we all three went selectively blind.
I've seen worse.
Obvious cue. I can't believe it's not butter. And now,
Discount Fabio.
leather pants,
Emu.
laced up the side.
I'm really glad for the camera placement right now because I'm watching on stream, which means Olaf's head is just blocking out everything.
I have made this so much worse.
You didn't make shit anything.
Now, see, at least with the robe, it just kind of it was just kind of okay. He's in a robe. It's not a big deal. With the shirt, it's like, oh no, that the shirt should be done up, and you should see nothing but the pirate frills and stuff like that. But it's like, no.
The chest
is
hair
Ras.
for choice.
I need a fake rose to put in my teeth.
Hold on. Are you saying that the vampire enthusiast you are, you don't have a fake rose at all times?
Oddly enough, I have a priest collar.
Wow, okay.
I can make
At
this
least 6
so
fake
much
roses
worse.
scattered around this room. I have a couple real roses.
Now, see, I was gonna say something, but I think I'm gonna refrain from making any comments about Ras's clothing choices. No.
Say it.
No. I will just say I have seen worse.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, Palpatine isn't quite as scary when he's in a bright fucking orange shirt.
Palpatine in tourist gear. The cargo shorts, the Hawaiian shirt, the straw hat.
Why are you thinking about that?
I'm trying to make Palpatine absolutely worse.
You can't really get much worse than his actual character.
His
You
actual
make him any
character-
worse, he's becoming Ray.
Lie.
I mean, we all saw that Robot Chicken Star Wars where he basically accidentally flashes everyone.
We also saw the Family Guy Star Wars.
You saw that when I avoided it.
It was basically the same thing as the Robot Chicken, just worse.
Yeah. And oh no, Seth Green Seth Green as Chris is like, wait, didn't Robot Chicken do this like months ago?
Oh, come on. No, down. I'm trying to avoid a dogfight. Please excuse me. Okay.
For those of you listening at home and not watching, it's not what it sounds like, I promise you.
Pantalones en fuego.
No más pantalones.
Pretty much all I know, except burrito and taco. Queso.
I took 2 semesters in college. I took 2 years in high school, and you know what only thing I ever used them for was when I actually went to Spain for a brief period. And only in the small towns, because the second I got to Barcelona, everyone spoke English. No one wanted me to speak Spanish.
Teach you to go to school.
Right? What's
I'm
worse
still wondering why it is that I can remember the door easier in Spanish than I can in German.
I can remember it better in Japanese than I can in Spanish.
I mean, for some reason, Der Port just doesn't stick in my head, but La Puerta does.
You would think that one would just lead to the other.
Well, they are doors. They have to lead to each other.
I mean, the Germans just like, okay, what is door in German? I was like, I don't fucking know. And then I was like, La Puerta is all right there, but that's Spanish. Like, it's port. And I was like, why the fuck does port not stick?
I don't know. I would think, it's a portal.
It's funny because
Then again, that was the same semester that the only German that I remembered was how to stick a teddy bear in the microwave and then tell his father about it.
1, Japanese for door is tubira. 2, the verb for to look in Japanese is miru, unconjugated. In Spanish, it's mirar. If you conjugate them in certain ways, in at least one version, they are exactly the same between Japanese and Spanish. Who
Kind of
knew?
like there, and there.
Yeah. But it's like,
Also, I'm very glad that we didn't do our half hour of politics tonight.
Well, I figure
boy.
we'll probably punt that down to the later half of the show.
We have to.
I mean, if there's something specific that we want to go over, we don't have to do politics. It's just,
I've been hearing about it in my house for like the past week, and I'm getting really fucking tired of it. Did you know that Trump did this and Trump did this and Trump didn't do fuck all?
Trump isn't even president yet. Shut the fuck up.
I personally loved it. Israel finally agreed to Hamas's ceasefire with the terms set by Trump.
No,
Trump didn't do fuck.
those are literally the conditions that Biden and his administration proposed back in May of last year. It's like, no. Now, Trump may have been like, oh, hey, I'm going to be a hard ass about it. And, and stuff like that. But that's as far as any of Trump's influence.
Yeah,
has
and then we
gone.
got into the TikTok ban.
and real quick, do we want to take a 5-minute break? Because my tea needs a refill and the little girl is going to need to go out.
Sure, we can do that.
Alright. I'll be right back.
We should make a be right back screen of just a 5-minute burrito being microwaved.
There you go.
Or, in my case, it would be a bowl of curry.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to just have something in a microwave spinning around and
Yeah, just rotating.
yeah. I mean, all you have to do is do one rotation and then just put it on loop.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure it's a smooth loop.
All my loops are
And then that
smooth.
way,
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're a veritable Mobius strip.
What's really easy in Blender when you just have the camera there, nothing other than the thing that's rotating around moves, and you just rotate it 360 degrees over 60 seconds, and there you go.
maybe the listener would appreciate that too, so they can go get a sandwich.
I still have no idea how many listeners we have. YouTube has been absolutely hell as far as like updating the views and stuff.
I don't even bother watching the views anymore. Like, I'll look down every now and then. Like, right now it says we have 4.
Yeah.
I don't care. There's a reason my show is called Howling into the Void.
I mean, my thing is, I literally had like, at least one episode. I think it was of Indiana Jones where I had like 4 people chatting, and YouTube said I had 2 viewers. I'm like, the math does not add up. It's like, what the hell are you, what are you talking about? Or like earlier today, they told me I had, or no, I guess it was yesterday. They told me that on one of my streams I had 3 viewers constantly, sometimes more, but it was always at least 3. And then they told me, okay, for an hour and a half live stream, you got 2 hours worth of views. And it's like, no, that does not add up. What the fuck are you doing, YouTube?
Don't they censor some of the viewers?
I don't know. I have
The
seen,
analytics are fucky.
yeah, I have seen some that are like all of a sudden like somebody will be chatting like almost the entire stream, and all of a sudden like all of their stuff is redacted. And I have no idea why or who or how or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Well, that's
I love
what.
when I go into my analytics and it'll be like, you have viewers from the US, Europe, Eastern Europe, Papua New Guinea. I'm like, Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
All right. Well, while we're kind of taking a break, I'm gonna go ahead and go up and refresh my drink as well.
Okay.
So I'll be back in a minute.
I guess we're just gonna sit here staring into the camera in silence again.
You guys can talk.
Good, but will we?
That's up to you.
I'm gonna go film my microwave. Okay, that's twice that the app did me wrong, because I think that my client isn't going to pick up their dog until tomorrow. I need a break. This is stupid. Speaking of college education, all of this college education, so I can babysit dogs. But all of those dogs bought me a new fence for my front yard. They bought me a real bed, and they bought me a real grown-up people couch instead of a futon. My poor
Some days I
futon.
think I should have finished my psychology degree, but then I realized even if I did go into clinical psychology, I probably wouldn't use it because half the time I just listen to people's problems and like, hey, you know what? Shut the fuck up.
And you heard it from me, and here's a prescription. Shut the fuck up.
My prescription is go to the corner, go get your ass kicked, because no. There ain't
Would they
nothing
have to
wrong
lay
with
on
you,
the
you're
couch?
just a bitch.
Would they have to lay on a couch?
The couch is for special patients. Those are for the patients that deserve it.
Cover them with a blankie and offer them a popsicle?
You know, I could probably make bank doing just that. Just be like, look, you're here, you're off work, you're not dealing with anybody, your family thinks you're in a session, you've got
Yeah.
2 hours, just take a fucking nap.
There you go. Yeah. Meanwhile, you go get a beverage and a sandwich.
I just sit here on my computer like, this is just like fucking adult daycare.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
What are you doing? You're paying my Steam subscription, man. What
Yeah,
other
Rasclin.
things? See, I know him too well. Even if he does make the microwave BRB screen, he's gonna put weird shit in that microwave.
I'm just trying to think of something weird enough to put into a microwave.
Knowing him, he'd probably put a tribble in there.
This gig?
I don't know if I would want to see Fizzgig microwave or just hug him.
Yeah, you want to hug Fizzgig. So we'll put all the tribbles because there was a trouble with tribbles and they needed to get rid of the tribbles. So yeah, we can put a handful of tribbles in there.
Oh, I found the most evil Halloween costume a couple weeks ago. Somebody dressed their kid as Atreyu, dragging Artax behind him.
No, no, no. The kid probably didn't even know what that was.
No, the kid didn't, but like a guy put it on his Instagram and he was like, I saw this walking down the street and like instantly I was like, there's no way, and then I realized it, and all the childhood, my heart just stopped.
You just wanted to break down in tears right then and there. Yeah.
I feel like I'd go up to that kid and she'd be like, hey, where's your parent? This is like, did you dress him like this? Fuck you.
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, because there's a costume contest, and that little shit is going to win $100, and who knows what's going to happen after that.
So he's gonna get more than 100. There's gonna be people fucking throwing money at him to take the costume off.
Okay. Okay.
What did I just walk into?
Taking costumes off.
Paying 10-year-olds to strip. What else did you walk into?
And we're going to see if you put tribbles in the microwave.
Tribbles in
Yeah, I
the...
said I know you too well that even if you made that BRB microwave screen, you wouldn't put a burrito in it. You'd put something weird like a fucking tribble. And then we got into Fizzgig, and then I was like, nah, I found the most evil Halloween costume. Someone's Instagram where some parent dressed their kid as Atreyu, dragging Artax behind him.
Oh God, why? Fucking why? Traumatize every Gen Xer that whose house you go to. That's
That's what we got into, was like, you know, Nikon was like, nah, there's a costume contest. My kid's gonna win $100. I was like, fuck $100. People are gonna be throwing money at him to take the costume off.
okay. That is slightly less bad than I thought.
Just be like, we don't care if you just drop the horse. Just leave the horse. Fuck off.
Well, isn't that the gist of the story? Is that the horse just goes away, sinks into the pit of doom or despair? Excuse me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, if the kid's just running around as Atreyu, like, they just be like, it's cute, it's Atreyu.
Yeah.
It's when you add Artax.
Yeah, when you add the horse in the pit, then it's like, oh, you. I'm sorry. At that point, I'd be like, no, get out of here. Get the fuck out. I don't care.
Like I said, this like you ask where their parents are, and then like you just walk up and immediately punch them in the face.
No, you give them a good slap across the face. Make it humiliating.
And slap them hard enough to where you hear the slap, to where you hear the. No.
Speaking of Artax in the swamp,
Why? Oh. I'm like, why are we still talking about
and he's
this?
muted.
I just heard things like, "Is this parenting by the pirates?" I don't know.
No. I don't think we would. No, we're not slapping kids. We're slapping parents.
I'm up for slapping the kids' parents.
You see, I say we're paying 10-year-olds to strip to you. You get fairly concerned like a normal human. I say it to Rask, and he's like, okay. Maybe it's because you both know two different sides of me.
Possibly.
I say it to you, you get concerned because you know there's a devious side of me. I say it to Rask, he's like, there must be a good reason.
Okay, I want to just say I am not a person with a good sense of judgment. I play chaotic good Sith in a D&D game where my war cry is, "I am the Sithiest Sith who ever did Sith."
I'm sorry, if you needed the proof of you're not a good judge of character, you could have just said you're on this show.
What do you think of my judge of character? She approves.
I don't know, says the guy who's eating peanut butter on bread.
Apple butter.
I mean, that's why she approves.
I mean,
Peanut
yeah.
butter?
And this is the part where I do something stupid, like, hey, what costumes would we pick for each other?
It's a good question. That's fair. We'll start with you since you brought it up.
Fuck if I know.
You don't have a costume for Ras?
He's already wearing it. All I have to do is find the riding crop and he's Jareth.
No. 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 No.
No.
No. Don't do Jareth like that.
I was
No.
saying no because I figured Rasclin was about to say, "Hey, well, I have one over here. Let me see if I can find." No. That's
No.
Not
Not a riding crop. Not a riding crop. The riding crop.
You're going to have to settle for this.
A stick?
No, it's a riding
It's
crop.
a riding crop. He just
It's just
doesn't.
very-
He doesn't have that much light.
Yeah,
He
I
also
think
doesn't
so,
have
right.
the scepter. You know the horrible part is, like, I used to watch Jareth and it was always like, okay, why did they make his pants so tight? But nowadays I look at it and I look at that riding crop and I'm like, that would have a horrible swing with that crystal ball in the back. All the weight is just fucked up.
Yeah, there can be no other Jareth. Sorry. I have
I'm
seen
still
people
mad
try.
at the manga, which has made Jareth a woman.
I've never seen anything like that. Not even
Okay.
with a wig or anything. No cup, no wig, no riding crop.
Anime Central 1998. The only convincing Vampire Hunter D was a woman.
I mean, they didn't so much make him a woman, it's just the drawing style of the manga. Made him look very femme. And then they just used androgynous pronouns for half of the story until they're like, oh yeah, it's Jareth.
I guess I wouldn't mind seeing it, but where would I go to see that?
Jareth or Vampire Hunter D?
Gareth.
Okay.
Let's see.
But you're gonna fuck. All y'all are gonna fuck Jareth up for me. That's just gonna like.
Oh no! They're like, I have the manga. It's just I don't
Okay.
feel like digging it out. It's Return to Labyrinth,
Okay.
in which they make Toby the new Jareth, to the point where like he actually inherits the name Jareth as well as the powers.
Okay. Kind of a little reach, but okay.
No.
Can we
The
play with-
reach is the labyrinth wasn't a pre-existing structure. The labyrinth is the physical manifestation of all of Jareth's magic, and then he made a bet with his ex-lover, which was really fucking stupid because if he can't actually win the bet, then he loses his power and becomes her slave forever.
Well, there is quite the theory about that and Sarah, because Sarah is like the 15th Sarah, and he keeps trying to, bring him in. There's quite the story about Labyrinth, and I've read it, and I'm like, well, okay, makes sense to me. Rasclin could be Hoggle.
I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. I could see Ras going one of two ways. One, I think he would with the right outfit. I think he could do a really good Ichabod Crane.
Hmm. And if I was balding on top, I could be Riff Raff.
True. Now, if he packed on some muscle, he could also probably still do a pretty decent Tarzan.
Technically, you don't have to be balding on top to do Riff. Just a really bad comb over.
I mean, I could just be the Castlevania version of Alucard.
True. Now for Nightkind, the only thing that the only costume that I could think of would be would have to be Granny Weatherwax. From Discworld. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw her on camera. It's like,
Thank you. No.
it's a compliment. No, it's she is a really awesome character.
Okay. Okay. Because when you said Granny Weatherwax, I'm thinking of the old lady that has all of her shit on the back in the trash pile in Labyrinth.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Granny Esmeralda Weatherwax is in the Discworld novels up until the last one. She is the most powerful witch that's ever been on the Discworld.
But you said Granny.
Yes, because she is an elderly witch.
Just trying to see how gray my hair is. Okay. Okay. I will research that and I will come back next week and either say fuck you or thank you very much.
It's gonna be both.
Probably. That's usually the
Anytime someone
response.
says, "Hey, you'd be a really great character from Discworld," it's gonna be both.
Guess I have to research this world thing.
What are they up to now? What was it 75 books?
I think so, and that's it. That's all there was.
Yeah. Basically, if you haven't read Discworld or you want to start collecting Discworld, don't.
I wouldn't say don't. It's a great series.
You're gonna have to put aside a lot of time to get through the entire series.
First time I ever was exposed to Discworld, it was animated. I was at Gen Con for the first one in Indianapolis in 2003.
I had heard about
Why I
Discworld.
timestamp everything.
Yeah. I had heard about it, but I hadn't had a lot of interaction until I met Olaf.
Sorry, Emery's giving Bang side eye, and I am ready to pounce. Don't you dare start a fight, fucker.
Now for Caden, I don't know. I don't know what I would.
Does anyone here remember the Dark Crystal?
You want to be a Skettis?
No, I would not be a Sketsy. I'd be Agra.
That's what I was. That's what I figured. I'm like, yeah. I think I know where he's going with this.
Agra when she sits down.
Wouldn't even have to change my personality. It's like, I am so done with this. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Definitely fuck you. You're okay. Fuck you.
I just thought of my own perfect cosplay I could do.
Okay.
Any one of Hugh Laurie's characters. I have the chin.
True.
His characters from Blackadder, easy. I just can't do the high voice.
Very good. Once.
Yes, once.
And then you wouldn't be able to talk for a while.
I would not. It's funny, anytime I do lose my voice, the day before I sound like Bill Collins. So I belt out just one of In the Air Tonight, and then that's it. I'm done. The next day it's like, no voice.
So if he ever does that on show, we know what's happening.
Yes.
You know, the Agra cosplay works because then it can also transition into a dual cosplay with Rask, where we can both do Final Fantasy cosplay. Because Agra is just obsessed with crystals.
Oh god,
One shard.
I want to do my red mage outfit. Of course, in game it's purple because I love purple.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm at the time travel fucky wucky part, and I wish I could be sarcastic.
In Endwalker,
Yes.
and you saw him.
Which him?
The him who was so popular in Shadowbringers that they had to bring him back.
No, you know what? That's who I'm gonna make you cosplay as.
You want me to do the
No, not Emmett.
Huh?
BRB.
Not Emmett.
Who? Hythlodaeus?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd have to dye my
That
hair.
lavender hair dye, boy.
You don't think I could just bleach the front and just call it Emmett Selk? Selk.
No, you don't have the personality for Emmett Selk.
It's called acting.
Okay, no, I can think of something for you, Caden.
Mm.
Shave your head and go as Kratos.
Nah. I've shaved my head. It didn't work.
Hey, we didn't say that there wouldn't be sacrifices.
And besides, which Kratos? Original flavor Kratos or?
No. The later Kratos.
I don't have the voice for that.
We can, I don't know, use a wire brush down your throat. We could get you the voice for it.
I mean, if I stayed up for like 4 days straight and did some really serious breathing exercises, I might be able to get close, but... I mean, true, I only need to say one word, and that would probably be enough to get most people in on it.
Well, that, and, if you have the right, the right face markings and stuff, yeah. All right, so Ras, what's your picks for the rest of us?
Going around the room.
Start with Olaf.
See, the problem is that Olaf has gone as Tom Baker so often that I have to wrench that from my head, and mostly because I've seen the other films that Olaf has done, which were often used, those of you watching at home can see them in the upper left-hand corner a lot. It'd be one of those characters. So you've kind of typecast yourself.
Yeah, give him a challenge. Make him be a Knack McFeegle.
I mean, that's just a matter of painting myself blue, dye my hair bright orange, and wearing a kilt.
Or just never being in sight.
All right, Caden, you're going to hate this. There's one character I want you to cosplay. All right, Mr. B. I'll have a cunning plan.
I have no idea who that is, but okay.
Olaf knows.
I'm pretty sure that's Baldric
It is Baldric.
from Blackadder.
Indeed.
Mm.
You, Caden, can play Baldric, and I can be George. Hugh Laurie's character. Baldric, played by Tony Robinson. He would later go on to play the Sheriff of Nottingham in a different series, a Robin Hood-based comedy. Yeah, I could see you doing it. Either role. Baldric is either brilliant or an idiot, depending on what incarnation of Blackadder they're in.
Now, yeah, that's the question: is which incarnation are we talking about?
Let's go with Incarnation 1. Because by the time we get to Incarnation 2, he has gone from being smart to someone get the door and he brings back the door. Incarnation 3, he seems stupid, but then he suddenly has frighteningly terrifying insights and everyone just looks at him and goes, I forget how scary you are.
You see, I could just do all of that over a weekend and nobody would notice.
Yeah. And the fourth iteration is just a rehash of the second iteration. Nightkind, obviously, I'm going to think WoW characters.
Why?
Jaina! Jaina!
Windrunner?
No, that's Sylvanas. Jaina Proudmoore.
I know exactly who we should make Rasclin go as.
Anu Belore Delana. Remember the Sunwell.
I'm gonna make you go as Tommy Wiseau.
Oh,
You're tearing this podcast apart!
And then I'm already in cosplay because I don't have to change shit.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Exactly.
Okay, I hate how effective this is.
Although, we will change one thing about the character, and that's if I do manage to find another girlfriend and I catch you cheating on me with her, I'm just gonna fucking stab you.
With a butter knife. With a
I'm gonna
spork.
do it with that spoon in the picture frame because, like, why the fuck was that there?
yeah, but here's the problem. He'd be Tommy, so you'd be the one cheating on his girlfriend.
And I'll stab them both.
But you're the one that's doing. But you're cheating with his. You'd be cheating with his girlfriend.
Technically, okay, see,
Not the other
here's
way
thing with
around.
Mark. I'm still wondering about that. Was he into it or not?
I mean, we've done interviews on the thing since.
I have no idea. I mean, the whole movie, it's, how
the whole
people
movie is
feel
weird.
about things changes from scene to scene, so.
I think old, before it got bullied, like before it got to where it's just tearing things apart just for the sake of it, old CinemaSins said it best when they were just like, Don't your breasts have cancer?
You
That was a
attack
major
him,
plot point.
he will eat you.
Completely overlooked.
I apologize for bringing my work with me.
Ooh, we could also have Rasclin be Elvira.
No, that wouldn't work.
He's pondering it.
I'm pondering women I would play. Elvira's not going to work.
Yeah.
And why would Elvira not work?
Because he doesn't want to have her biggest feature.
Boobs.
That hair.
What the hair? That's just Aquanet.
I can handle this with a push-up. It's the hair. It's like, no.
No, you cannot mimic Elvira's chest with a push-up.
Have you
She has a
seen
chest
these
plate.
things?
She actually has a chest plate, but I don't want to ruin anybody's fantasy. But if he's going to get a push-up, then he has to wear the chest plate.
Okay.
We just need a shit ton of Aquanet.
Kidney damage. This will be nothing in comparison.
I love the fact that we're all just glossing over the fact that he probably does have a slinky dress somewhere in his closet.
I did. At one point, I gave it away.
I have seen
Now
him.
I actually fit in it again, and I wish I hadn't.
I have seen him. I've seen him go to a Goth Industrial Night as a Drow High Priestess.
It was Dungeons and Drag Queens. I accidentally did a spinning pirouette on the dance floor.
There's no accidentally. You didn't do shit
it was an
accidentally.
accident. I'll back me up here. That was a complete accident.
I don't know if I was there for that, but yeah.
I got lots of wows and a whole lot out of me afterwards going, I meant to do that. Really? I so did.
I have seen Rass's dancing style, so I think I described it once as a Goth Industrial James Brown.
I was gonna say Scarecrow flailing in the wind.
No.
I'll take the James Brown. You've also seen me in an 80s night.
His footwork is very reminiscent of James Brown.
Yeah, better James Brown than Rick James.
Okay, that's who I need to cosplay from WoW. Brawn Jam, the Godfather of Souls, who was a missed opportunity during Wrath of the Lich King. You know what he should have said? Like, when you meet him, all he does is say, finally, a captive audience. And then he goes, hallelujah, when you kill him. It's like, there was so much they could have done. They could have had him go, adventurers, I want to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, you know? Like a death machine. And raises various zombies at that point. And just sing, get up, get on up, as they rise from the grave. But no, it's just your standard tank and spank. With a couple of fear effects. There's a WoW anonymous group somewhere, and I should probably join it.
I maybe.
I just love how we always give him like a couple minutes of silence after that.
Well, you never know if he's done or not.
I always like to think of it as we've let you go on your passionate rants. We're just gonna give everyone a couple minutes to cool down.
Yeah, but if you don't derail me quickly enough, I'll go into another passionate rant.
But that's fine, because that gives us more opportunity to not talk.
So the other day, I did a Chicago-style deep dish pizza, vegan, with pesto on top instead of a marinara, because I am out of my God's forsaken mind.
So what you're saying is you really just did a deep dish pasta.
Midwest casserole.
Same thing.
No, I'm pretty sure Midwest casseroles have meat.
You know I would put something in, but
Not
So is
that meat. We don't want your meat.
you've seen American Pie.
I mean, I was gonna say it's unidentifiable and don't ask what kind of meat it is, but I was being nice.
I've known
Point
Ras
is-
too long to be nice.
It's not Rask or you that I'm being nice to, it's the people listening.
If they don't
We
know what,
apologize in advance.
if they don't know what they're getting into, then it's high time they find out.
2 words. Cashew cheese.
We want our, not my listeners, we want them, whoever's listening, to stay. So cashew cheese.
I'm just gonna put it this way. Out of the 4 of you, because we're gonna count gamers, 2 of you have some vague idea of how much of an asshole I can be. But really, none of you have ever actually seen how low I can actually sink.
I'm the one who gave you the idea for the Kobold Princess to fall in love with the dead prince.
But see, that's a standard romance. No. I'm talking about, like, the... See, this is where I'm saying. Olaf knows how far I'll go. And he knows I can be offensive, I can be humorous, and I can be just downright evil.
And most of the time, he's all 3.
Yeah, it's the describing it is the hard part. I'm very much karma. That's basically how it goes. I like to take the parts of you that you think are amazing, and I'm just be like, and this is why they suck.
So it's a Vampire the Masquerade thing. To find the clan by their weakness.
Kinda, yeah.
Which worked
But I like to
fine
keep it in
for the
check.
7 clans, and it went downhill after that.
I'm trying to be a nicer person. Unfortunately, being a nicer person means that I'm boring as hell.
Look, I mean, being a nicer person is... It's comparative. It's a sliding scale. If you're being if you used to be horrible, being just kind of bad or even just bad is you're a better person technically. You have improved.
I think what it is, I need to embrace the fact that I'm still East Coast, but so I'm kind and I'm a good person. I'm just not nice.
Boston nice versus California kind. Or vice
Exactly.
versa.
Why do
You know, the California who
Californians
will smile and be very polite to your face, but when it comes to actually being kind, no. You ain't getting shit out of them. I'm still trying to figure that out. Everyone does the East Coast and West Coast. Where does the Midwest fall into this scale?
You roll 1d4.
I mean, it depends on where in the West Coast, where in the Midwest you're talking about.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I mean, if you're talking like Wisconsin, Minnesota, places like that, it's like, oh, hey, we just met you, but how's your folks doing? Like,
They've
I
been
don't
dead
know,
for
but
6
how's
years,
your-
but thanks for asking.
If
don't they
you're
consider part of those the Bible Belt?
bits of it,
Yeah.
we border on Appalachia.
Obviously, I don't care about the Bible Belt. Why am I asking where the Bible Belt is? Conversation. All I've got.
It's a little south of us. Part of Illinois is in that Bible Belt. Oh, Nelly.
The parts with the cults are in the Bible Belt.
It's true.
Okay.
We had someone literally try to lead a crusade down south in Illinois. It didn't go well. Thank the gods for small mercies. But how your the nice versus kind thing is generally depends on how cosmopolitan you are in the Midwestern zones. The weird thing is you get more actual kindness, i.e. people trying to help you, the more urban the area is, and more superficial niceness, the more rural the area is. Ola, would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
Not to say there aren't exceptions on both sides of that rule, but generally, Chicago, you will, weirdly enough, and especially in Champaign, you will get some help out of nowhere. Springfield. Once you start talking urban areas under 100,000, the switch happens.
I mean, Chicago, I think more Chicago, you kind of get that help out of nowhere because there's people out there who actually care about Chicago's reputation, so they're trying to be like, no, we're not all assholes, really. We're not.
This is a city that has its own flag they take great pride in, the 4 stars. And I do love Chicago. But I also love Milwaukee and Indianapolis, so my mileage may vary.
I think anytime you talk about a big city, it's kind of like, are you really getting the reputation of the area?
I can't say much because with the exception of Texas, I haven't been further west than Ohio. So
You haven't even made it into Indiana.
I don't want to.
No, you don't.
I've been to Ohio once, and it was to see the Lee Middleton doll factory. And then after that, I was like, I never want to go back to Ohio. The whole state just felt like, fuck you.
I mean, just go to Gen Con in Indy once.
Well, no, that's not.
I avoided Indiana for years because I had a relative that I really did not want to be around that lived in Indiana.
I'm not sure.
But I'm pretty sure they have outstanding warrants there now, so they can't be in Indiana.
I'm not sure going to a convention would really give them give anybody a good indication of what Indiana's like.
No, but it would give you Indianapolis, and the thing is, Indianapolis takes so much pride in the fact that they stole Gen Con from Milwaukee. They will bend over to keep the convention in town.
But here's the problem: is you're talking about going to a convention where people from all over the country come. You're not really getting a feel even for Indianapolis if you just go to the convention.
And even then, you're also talking about going on convention weekend when the whole city is going to be on its best behavior.
True, but you still get a feel for it. Like, I found some of the best restaurants in Indy by talking to some people, other gamers, some locals. Found a place that back then did a great vegetarian haggis.
Yeah, but these are people who you already have some sort of connection with. You're already on their level at some point. You're not approaching them as a complete and utter stranger. You have you have something in common to connect you.
Fair.
There are days that I wish I had taken that layover with the 4 hours in O'Hare for no reason.
Go to Indianapolis on when there's some kind of event that you're not really into, like, one of the races or something like that. If something that you're not really into, that will kind of give you a bit better of an idea of what the place is like. something they're really, really famous for, just in general.
The Indy 500 is the obvious one, but at that point, just go see Chicago. Olive and I can meet you there.
I try not to go to Chicago.
There are days I wish I had taken that layover from Virginia to Texas with the 4 hours in O'Hare for absolutely no reason.
You wouldn't have been able to do much. Like, they want you to be at your flight within 2 hours, and from O'Hare, all you can do is take the blue line into downtown, and that's going to take you 30 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, if I had taken it, by the time I got to O'Hare, if I remember the connections right, I would have already been down to Raleigh, up into New York, to go to LaGuardia, over to Atlanta, then back up to O'Hare, and then down into Dallas.
Jesus.
So by the time I got to O'Hare, I would have been like, hey guys, fuck off, I'm going to sleep.
What the hell kind of a fucking route was that? That's just...
The cheapest. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not taking that one.
How is that? Who runs this airline? And which one was it?
That was Southwest.
Huh.
I think with Indiana, I think their state motto pretty much sums it up. The crossroads of America. Because what is there at a crossroads other than fucking nothing? You're just on your way to somewhere better.
Satan.
Okay, you're not improving. You're not helping Indiana's case at all.
Sure I am. You can sell your soul and get better jazz musicians.
Sell your soul for 5 years.
The devil detoured from Georgia.
Devil went up to Indiana and just went, fuck this. You know, it's kind of funny. Every time you hear about the devil and all that, that always happens in the South. You never hear about him in the North.
Oh gods, I can see the devil goes up to Milwaukee. They're so desperate for tourism dollars, they try and convince him to move hell there.
Okay, so not talking about the actual geographical Mason-Dixon, but like, does that mean that Satan just observes the Mason-Dixon line?
Possibly.
That's a terrifying thought.
Like, he gets up about North Carolina, he's like, nah, everything above this, I can't go.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I am starting to crash.
I'm fucking exhausted.
I think
I was like, I'm gonna go play more 14, and I'm like, nah, fuck that, I'm just gonna fall asleep during the cutscene.
I'm gonna be up for a bit, so...
I think you started exhausted.
I did start exhausted. Well, like I said, I linked it in the Pirates chat, just that, hey, how you doing? I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.
Alright, well, you guys want to sing... Oh. What?
No, it's just a real quick. It's been one of those months. The family's been getting bitchier and bitchier, and they want to be right about everything, but they all have to be their own personal flavor of right. And then, yeah, Saturday, I was just vibing. No, it wasn't Saturday. It was last Friday. Right after the live stream, I was just vibing. I was having fun. And then my hard drive decided, hey, I'm going to kill myself now. So I lost everything.
Yeah, I had that happen to a hard drive one time. I'd just gotten back from a convention. I'd moved like just about everything off onto that hard drive. Like, I didn't copy it. I just, moved it over.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hard drive just died. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
So what it was is it got a shock because, I had dropped my laptop and I caught the laptop, but I didn't catch the hard drive. But it bounced at the end of the USB cable. And then apparently the head got stuck on the plates. So me, being the dumbass that I am, took it apart, see if I could reset it. Got the head reset, well now it won't touch the plates. So I'm like, alright, I'll call the data recovery services, and then everyone refers me to their partner. And one of them was like, yeah, we offer services anywhere from $400 to $8,000 for data recovery. I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I've seen a few like YouTube videos where it's like where that's the type of thing that the guy does, and he's like, oh no, there are companies that will just absolutely fucking rip you off. It's like there are companies that will charge you like he had one that somebody had taken their hard drive into another shop and they had broken the circuit board while they were opening it. And he's like, this is what happens when you take it to a ship place. And basically they just handed it back, said, we can't do anything with it. Circuit board's broken, whatever. And he's like, no. You can still fix. He's like, he got a new circuit board. He had to move like the processor and stuff over because it was all because it encodes it for that specific chip. But he went through it, and he's like, yeah. And he's like, now this type of stuff, yeah, people are gonna charge you, $6,000-7,000 to do this. He's like, no, that's they fucked it up, and they're gonna charge you a shit ton for it. He's like, I don't know how much he charged for it, but he's like, no, it's not as huge a deal as that. It's bad, but it's not, like $6,000-7,000 worth of repair time.
Yeah. I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, so that's all my YouTube, that's the novels I was writing, that's everything else, it's all the scripts and everything, all the background music. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, sure, that was like 13 years worth of shit that I had accumulated, but at the same time, I wasn't ever really happy with all of it, so I could take this as an opportunity to make it better.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And like I said, you guys, the logos and everything, and I've got various pictures saved around, so it's like, oh yeah, all the howling shit I can just get back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to do. Yeah, because I mean, most of the howling into the voids stuff you uploaded also to Discord here.
Yeah, I've sent it to Discord. I've sent it to people on Telegram. Like, the artist of the original logo is on my Telegram and like in several of my groups, so I could have just been like, hey, do you still have copies of that original pic? And they'd be like, yeah, here, go, have fun. Would you like me to modify it while I'm at it?
All right, so yeah, I am ready to call it for the night. So you guys want to say your good nights?
Good night.
Night. All right, boys and girls, I am out. Thank you for listening, and remember to wash your hands after doing poos.
Just wash your hands every 3 minutes. It's a good habit.
I think so. All right, good night, you guys.
Tomorrow night, Over the Edge on Community Radio for East Central Illinois, 90.1 FM, WEFT Champaign. Streaming online at www.weft.org/listen.
All right. Well, everybody has turned off their cameras now. So everything is like in different places. All right. So I'll go ahead and say my good night. I'll go ahead and do my outro. As always, guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right. As always, thank you guys. Okay, come on now. Behave. There we go. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to press the subscribe button. If you want to be kept up to date when we go live and stuff like that, make sure to ring the bell. For example, tomorrow at 2 p.m., we are continuing on with the Dark Side Detective. And I do believe we are going to be we're probably going to start a replay of Cyberpunk 2077 tomorrow at 8 p.m. I am going to kind of fast forward to after the big heist because all that is just so much BS that's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, make sure to ring the bell, but also check out the social media links down below because YouTube isn't always the greatest as far as notifying you of when I go live and stuff like that. That's the Facebook page, the Twitter account, the Tumblr account, the Blue Sky account, and the permanent invite for our Discord server, where I make sure to notify you guys of when we go live. All that so that you can stay tuned for more from Olav Productions. Cheerio!